Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to those of you who are brand new to Lost Ark, those of you who maybe haven't even played the game yet. Maybe you've seen a video, maybe you've seen a trailer, you've read a review, but you haven't gotten your hands on the game. I want to explain to you why I always recommend Lost Ark to new players, why I always advise people to give Lost Ark a try, and generally I want to explain to you the direction in which Lost Ark is going and why I always recommend new players to come in and try Lost Ark. If you're watching this video because you already know you want to play Lost Ark or to try Lost Ark, especially now during these troubled times with Corona where many of you have a little bit more free time on your hands, maybe you don't do the commute to work, maybe you work from home, etc. So especially now it's a great time to play it, and I have a video in the description below, a 6-minute complete guide on how to play Lost Ark, currently available in Russia with other English speaking players, etc. It's linked in the description below. It's also pinned in the comment section, so you can find my guide there. 6 minutes, you're in the game, or well, depending on your internet connection, but the guide is 6 minutes with everything you need to know. Let me talk to those of you who are maybe still unsure, who have heard some things about Lost Ark. I have been playing Lost Ark for, I would say, a year and a half now, maybe a little bit more, and I can tell you for sure that it has been an amazing experience for me. The game is not yet out in the West, and that says a lot about myself as a player. I'm not the perfect kinda, you know, demographic for Lost Ark. I've played Aeon, I've played Guildros, I've played Wildstar in the past, Runes of Magic, a little bit of Terra, these kinds of games. So I'm not their kind of audience. However, once I got into Lost Ark, 2 weeks into the game, I completely fell in love with it, and it was an absolutely amazing experience from start to finish. The game has everything basically, and it's going into a very nice direction with the patches that are coming out in Korea and the patches that are coming out in Russia. For example, the most recent patch in Russia, which is the region in which 99% of the English speaking players or the Westerners are playing currently, the most recent patch brought a lot of improvements for new players, more ways to get your gear. I'm not gonna get into all of the details and nitty-gritties, but there's more ways now to progress with the gear faster. There's more ways now to level up faster, etc. So you can catch up to the people that have already been playing the game for some time. So it's a much more pleasant experience now after the most recent patch in Russia than it was just a few weeks ago before the most recent patch. The Koreans also found Lost Ark to be maybe a little bit too much to the daily grind side, right? And they've listened to them, and they're making the game a lot more accessible and a lot more fun in general for everyone, not only for the hardcore players that have 4, 5, 6 hours to play every day. So in Korea, what's coming up next is a lot of improvements to the way you gear up. Also, a lot more fun things to do and rewarding things to do that do not imply you being out there in the elite PvP scene or you being out there in the elite PvE scene. Another thing that's coming in Korea, which is addressed to loosen the borders in between new players and old players, is completely equalized gear in PvE content. PvE, I said, not PvP. In PvP, in Korea, they already have, for quite a while, completely equalized gear, so that a new player would not feel a single bit of a difference gear-wise compared to a seasoned player in terms of PvP. So that's why I keep saying, well, I've said this since I started playing Lost Ark, because I just believe it's a fantastic MMORPG and a great way to spend your free time. It just makes you feel happy. But now I'm saying it even more, that new players, you should definitely join Lost Ark, and that's because of all of these things that I've just mentioned. The most recent update in Russia, the most recent updates in Korea, and on top of everything, the things to come, the updates to come in Russia and in Korea are absolutely phenomenal. Really nice, very player focused, very community focused, and not only for those at the top who really want to perform, but also these here who just want to play for fun. They just want to, you know, get their dose of excitement and combat and boom and splashes and killing many mobs at So that's what Korea is doing right now. They're going to introduce player housing, they're going to introduce underwater content also, like dungeons. So it's super nice, and the game is heading to a very nice direction. Slowly by slowly we're starting to see that direction in Russia also. The gender lock is going to be removed as well. Another thing that they've really listened to the community, and step by step they're going to remove the genders for every profession in the game. So all amazing things, all things that make me recommend Lost Ark to you even more now. And because I want to talk to those of you who are brand new to the game, let me give you a couple of basics for you to understand better what exactly is Lost Ark. So this is an MMORPG, if you want to be politically correct. It's an MMORPG, right? With the only difference, there's two differences, is that the camera view is the top-down kind of thing from Path of Exile and Diablo. I've never played such a game before playing Lost Ark. This was my first try at this camera view. It took me about 2 weeks, maybe 3, to be completely used to the camera view. So if you try Lost Ark, if you play it, watch my guide and play it, then in 2-3 weeks you're most likely gonna get past all of that need to look at the sky or need to control the way your character views things with your mouse, right? There's no such thing in Lost Ark. Another thing that's kind of like in Diablo and Path of Exile is the way the mobs move and die, and they all are just hundreds of mobs at the same time, and your skills kind of affect all of them or many of them, and this is how they move. Also the map and the minimap, the minimap is also like Path of Exile and Diablo. Everything else in Lost Ark, from the way you do content, the things that are to do inside the game, the gear progression, the PvP, the rewards, everything basically is exactly like you would expect from a normal MMORPG. Nothing special, nothing different. There's gear progression, you do raids with parties, you do open world bosses, you can meet together with people in towns, nobody's like locked out in their own instance, you meet people in the open world, you see people at sea, there's no like, this is my channel, that's your channel. So it's an MMORPG with Diablo Path of Exile camera. That's about it. This is Lost Ark. It has everything from really nice PvE content, challenging PvE content as well, dungeons and higher end dungeons which are not so challenging, they're like daily things. There's things that you can do all day long, as many as you want them, and there's things that the game limits you to doing only like 3 per day or something similar. Same as in every other MMORPG, as I was saying, there's cooldowns on dungeons. No big deal, it's 3 a day, tomorrow you can do another 3, right? Raiding and PvP and open world content and bosses and sea and water content is also present, where you embark on a boat and then you don't see your character anymore, you just see a top-down view of your boat and you can do all sorts of cool things on the water. These things are also present in the game. So the game has a lot of content for you to do, but it's nice content. It's not, let's say, overwhelming content like in Arcade. At least it's limited, at least some things in the game are limited this amount per day, and you finish them in 20 minutes, and then you do them again next day if you want to. So a very lovely MMORPG, highly recommended. I hope this helps you as a new player to the game, or as a new player to, or as a player of MMORPGs who would also now during this time like to try something that's upcoming for us in the West also, sooner rather than later. Or maybe you just heard about Lost Ark and you want to try Lost Ark specifically. I hope this helps you maybe ease a little bit of the worries that you might have about Lost Ark. The game is going in a really awesome direction. It's doing really well in Korea as a game, and it has a lot of content, a lot of fun, exciting content. The combat is also really cool. There's many classes that you can play. There's no kind of healer tank DPS, but then again there is. It kind of works a little bit like in Guild Wars 2, where there's some classes that can, well, one class currently in Korea 2 that can throw, let's say, a heal or a shield, and then there is some classes or class that can throw some taunts on the boss and turn them around and stuff. So these are kind of the basics about the game. I really urge you to try it because it's a nice way to spend your time. I have a guide, again linked in the description, pinned in the comments. 6 minutes gets you in the Russian version of the game. I wish you guys lots of love. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, wash your hands, and see you really soon.